Right, listen up you Muppets. Welcome to a culinary journey that'll make your taste buds scream, yes, chef. We're diving headfirst into the fiery, flavorful heart of Korean cuisine. Get ready to ditch those bland, boring recipes and learn the secrets behind Korea's most iconic dishes. We're talking bold flavors, vibrant colors, and enough heat to melt your face off. In a good way. First up, we're tackling the cornerstone of Korean cooking. The one, the only, kimchi. Don't even think about calling yourself a foodie if you haven't mastered this fiery fermented masterpiece. We're talking napa cabbage, gochugaru, that's Korean chili powder for you amateurs, fish sauce, ginger, garlic, and a whole symphony of flavors that'll blow your mind. Now, this isn't some quick slap-it-together job. Kimchi demands respect. It demands patience. We're talking days of fermentation, allowing those flavors to develop into a symphony of deliciousness. Get those chopping boards out and let's get those cabbages prepped. Thinly slice them, but for God's sake don't you dare bruise those leaves. Next, we're hitting it with a salt bath. Don't even think about skimping on the salt. You want to draw out that moisture and create the perfect environment for fermentation. While that cabbage is working its magic, we're creating a paste that'll make your taste buds sing. Gochugaru, fish sauce, ginger, garlic, maybe a touch of sugar if you're feeling adventurous. This is where you can really let your personality shine. Once that paste is looking as vibrant as a flamenco dancer's dress, it's time to get down and dirty. Massage that paste into every nook and cranny of that cabbage. We're talking full coverage, no leaf left unturned. Now, pack it all tightly into a jar, making sure those flavors can meld and mingle. Leave it to ferment in a cool, dark place, and resist the urge to open it for at least a few days. Trust me, the wait is worth it. Next up, we're diving into bibimbap, which translates to mixed rice. But don't let that simple name fool you. This dish is anything but boring. We're talking a kaleidoscope of colors and textures, a party in your mouth. First, we need a mountain of perfectly cooked rice. Not too mushy, not too dry, you want each grain to stand at attention. Now for the fun part, the toppings. This is where you can let your culinary creativity run wild. We're talking seasoned spinach, vibrant carrots, earthy mushrooms, maybe some protein, like beef or tofu. Don't be afraid to experiment. And for the piece de resistance, a fried egg, cooked sunny side up, with a yolk so runny it could star in a horror movie. Finally, just before serving, we drizzle over a generous helping of gochujang, that magical fermented chili paste that adds a punch of flavor and heat. Mix it all together and get ready for a flavor explosion that'll leave you speechless. Listen up you spice freaks, this one's for you. Tteokbokki, or spicy rice cakes, is not for the faint of heart. We're talking chewy, cylindrical rice cakes, swimming in a fiery sauce that'll test your limits. The base of this sauce is gochujang, of course, but we're not stopping there. We're adding gochugaru, maybe a touch of gochugaru, and if you're feeling really brave, a sprinkle of chili flakes for good measure. Now, don't go thinking this is just a one-dimensional heat fest. We're adding a touch of sweetness with sugar or corn syrup, some savory depth with soy sauce, and maybe a whisper of sesame oil for that nutty aroma. Once those flavors are bubbling away like a witch's cauldron, it's time to introduce our rice cakes. Let them simmer in that fiery sauce until they're plump, tender, and coated in a layer of flavor that'll blow your head off. Alright, you lot, get ready to ditch those dry, overcooked steaks because we're about to unlock the secrets to samgyeopsal, Korean BBQ at its finest. We're talking about thick-cut pork belly, grilled to crispy perfection and bursting with juicy flavor. First things first, you need a hot grill. We're talking screaming hot, so hot it could melt the face off a clock. Now, for the star of the show, the pork belly. Look for a good layer of fat, that's where the flavor is hiding. Slice it into bite-sized pieces, ready for the grill. No fancy marinades here, just a sprinkle of salt and pepper is all you need to let that porky goodness shine. Once those grills are screaming, it's time to get cooking. Lay those pork belly slices down gently, and don't you dare touch them. Let them sizzle and char, developing a beautiful crust before you even think about flipping them. Once they're cooked to perfection, it's time to assemble your masterpiece. Grab a lettuce leaf, top it with a slice of that glorious pork belly, maybe some rice, kimchi, a dollop of ssamjang, that's a spicy dipping sauce, and anything else your heart desires. Roll it all up into a parcel of pure joy and get ready for a flavor explosion. Listen up, you lot. Just because we're finishing with something sweet, don't think for a minute that means we're going soft. Hotchok, or Korean sweet pancakes, are a force to be reckoned with. We're talking about crispy, golden brown pancakes, filled with a gooey cinnamon sugar filling that'll send your taste buds into overdrive. First, we need a simple dough. Flour, yeast, sugar, water, the usual suspects. But here's the secret. We're adding a touch of rice flour for that signature chewy texture. While the dough is rising, let's whip up that irresistible filling. Brown sugar, cinnamon, maybe a handful of chopped nuts if you're feeling fancy. Once the dough has doubled in size, it's time to get our hands dirty. Divide it into balls, flatten them out, and spoon a generous amount of that sweet, cinnamony goodness into the center. Now, pinch those edges together tightly, making sure none of that precious filling escapes. Finally, it's time to cook these beauties. Heat up a pan with a good amount of oil, and fry those pancakes until they're golden brown and crispy on the outside, with a molten gooey center. Well, there you have it, you lot. A crash course in Korean cuisine that'll make you the envy of every foodie on the block. Now get out there, grab those ingredients, and start cooking. And don't forget to show me what you've got. Post your culinary creations online and tag me. Until next time, keep those knives sharp and those taste buds tingling.